All right, guys, so welcome back. Today, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. One of my all-time favorite movies happens to be Predator, which I know, shocking. There's like no signs. I never talk about it. Anyway, so one of the first things I ever bought as a movie prop, maybe, God, 20, 25 years ago now, was a Predator P1 Bio. And it was not great. It was the first thing I ever bought. I painted it myself. I had no idea what I was doing. I don't even think I airbrushed it. I think I used sponges and you know what? Let me just show you. How about that? I still got it in here. Ignore the extraterrestrial you see on your right. That's for another project. This guy. This was one of the first movie props I ever painted. Let me take him in here and set him down. So as you can see, not great. I had no idea what I was doing. I guess for 20 years ago, it's not the worst thing in the world. You can even see that I broke the laser shroud here while I was trying to drill it out because I had no idea what I was doing. But I figured that it was time that I actually do a proper P1 bio. So we're going to head up to my good buddy Joe's again and give you a little tutorial on how we do it. And let us know if you have any questions.
Hey guys, today's episode of Now We're Doing a Video of this of On the Bench with my good friend Travis Fultz. We are taking, matter of fact, I am doing a tutorial on this of how to paint, assemble Casey McCabe's P1 Bio. Absolutely the best one. I mean, no offense towards anybody, it's not blowing Casey up or anything, but it is. I've had other bios. This is actually incredibly, I don't want to say urethane or something, but it is an amazing, like you could drop this thing, it won't crack, break, beautiful, smooth and stuff like that. We were going to show you how to, I think, maybe install lasers, not sure, but install the lenses and everything, how to paint and everything, do all the detail and stuff like that. But this will be from a good friend, Travis Fultz, and everything, again, who's doing all the video production and everything. And this is Casey McCabe's P1 Bio. I don't know an exact price and stuff like that. If you want one of these fully finished, get these from Casey McCabe. If you actually need any painting help, or something like that with any Predator stuff, please contact me, and hope you enjoy. Okay guys, here we are. The first step of this is cutting out the lenses. I do it this way. I have no other idea, and somebody like, oh, I do this. Yeah, I take a Dremel, I take the drill bit and everything, starting here. Okay folks, like I said, we have it. All of that. The rest off camera, I think it would just be like me drilling off the back and everything. So next thing guys is clean up all like the mold release, and in case he really doesn't and everything, but just in case, just take some alcohol, rub it on here. Let's give it a nice clean. Plus from where you dremel and everything, you want to clean up all your edge lines and stuff like that. You know, like anything that you're doing, the basic models and everything, you're going to clean up anyway because of mold release and everything. Unless it's 3D printed, you don't have to prime. That's another story. Okay guys, so the next step will be priming. I use Stynylrez. You can use any automotive primer or anything. It's good as gold. I just like this because of airbrush use. And of course, you know, when priming, it's very light coats and stuff. Just go back and forth till you feel it, the way you get no runs. I have no idea about pressure and everything, because you could have it on high pressure, but if you have it on high pressure, pull it back. You could have it on low pressure and get really close and everything. But once again, you're just wanting little light coats to go back and forth. Stynylrez is great. It's sandable. It dries really quick. It's water soluble, meaning that you can clean up. It's made for model kits and stuff like that. Okay guys, so we have the bio completely primered, nice smooth. You can take any black. It doesn't have to be gloss black. There are two ways to do this. You can actually use like Alclad, Spastic, and everything, where you do a gloss enamel tester, spray paint and everything, and then use an Alclad over it if you want, like, but it produces chrome. If you really think about it, like, the Predator stuff is like more like aluminum, it's flat and stuff like that. So we're going more for like a dull look and everything. It could be age, patina, and everything from him traveling, whatever, sci-fi character. But for now, what we're just going to do is just use any paint. I use Golden High Flow Carbon Black. It's black and stuff. So we're just going to lightly mist it. Takes only about a minute or so to cover this. Like I say, you just want real light, so where there's no runs. Do your best. Like I said, normally with airbrushing, like in paint auto body, people do big swings and stuff like that. Since it's coming out so fast and everything, see little tighter lines and stuff like that will produce really good. I think at PSI, just to push stronger and everything, you can do 50 or 60. The reason being, you're going to like open it up all the way and want that forcefully coming out instead of like 20 or 30, like when you're doing fine modeling and stuff like that. Okay guys, so we have the black all done. It's settled now. It is dry. There are multiple ways, like I said, tons of chrome ways you can do that. This is a really good one I like. Yeah, I think you can only get this from a company called Spray Gunner. Really excellent, nice people. This is an off thing still about Spray Gunners, to give them some shout outs and stuff. I had ordered something. They sent me the wrong one, and instead of like sending it back, they said it's just cost more time. They just actually sent me like a free bottle and everything to compensate for the wrong item set. It's called Chromate, and of course this is, I want to say it's just aluminum. I think, oh wait, on the bottom, yeah, aluminum. Hence why we're going for the look on the Predator being aluminum. So it's not going to be chrome, folks. So all we do is we grab this and really light, not extremely light and everything, but you do want it to look, you know, build it up. There's, I hope Travis can see that and everything. And you just lightly do it. It covers. And of course this is airbrush. It's ready to shoot. You don't have to worry about thinning it down. Nothing like that. I think one of the things I notice people don't really get about their Predator bios is this little lip down here and stuff like that. And like I said, you can add to it. If you want to even like make it like heavier and stuff like that, it does add volume to it. It's not like Alclad, to where Alclad is kind of like you're really seeing through the transparency of the silver to see like the shiny gloss. This stuff really just is glossy. It's almost as soon as you put it on. I hope that shines good. Okay, good. Okay. So guys, this is how we're going to start weathering. There are two things. A lot of people are talking in the industry, sponge makeups. It's been around since Lon Chaney and everything. People doing the stippling with the sponge and everything. You can do that. First of all, it's cost effective and it's a time effort thing. You have to go somewhere to get something like that to get those actual types of sponges and everything. And that is like these little like wedge ones and stuff like that. I've never used that. I just think smarter, not harder and everything. So I've just gotten a conventional paper towel and everything. You can use any kind of brown and black and stuff for the modeling, weathering, armoring and stuff like that and everything. But I use golden, once again, high flow sepia, and then I use the carbon black, and I would just take water and just do like a little dip and everything. kind of like to blot it off and everything. So I will blot it like this, get a good going of, maybe it's a thing too. I always use Bounty. I don't know, maybe because of the design, the squares and stuff like that. And then I need to get it. Oh, here we go. And then you just take a dry one and you start not wiping, but blotting off. If you want heavier ones and everything, don't blot as heavy. If you want it just really lightly, blot quick. What's nice about this will absorb some of the moisture too. So as you know, you're still stippling on, you won't get like dry spots. So can you get that? Okay, so that shows you some of it and everything. Then we go in again. If you want even to, squeeze some top of it because of the water in, but you want to go over it as much as you can. Squeeze into like those corners and stuff like that. It'll get deep in there. You also too, some people can go and pull down for that streaking effect. We will go into that later and stuff. You want some more, just add some black, add some brown, a little water. It is your combination. You can do it actually really like thick, almost like paint. You're still going to take that. There is an edge to this too, meaning that you can blot or you can roll, depending on what you do. It does help a little bit better if you just like this, just roll print. And since everyone is differently variable, you're never going to come out with the same, color, thickness, richness, and stuff like that. But that's what makes it nice about making your own and stuff like that. If you get into like collecting these and stuff.
And Joe, why do you weather it up so much?
It is because he is a predator and he is not a visitor in the jungle. He is there to hunt.
He's a jungle hunter.
He's a jungle hunter. He is not there just.
First.
Yes, he's not a jungle tourist. So he does not have a brand new bio on. He's been there for a while. He's only in town with a few days to kill. So another thing too on this, guys, you got to imagine the predator's always like skinning people. He's got his hands like mixed in the dirt and everything. So a key point is to have it right here dirtied up the most, is along the edge of the bio, because with those huge, Kevin Peter Hall has 7-foot hands and everything, it's going to be more dirtied up to where he's pulling that bio off and everything. So let me just get this a little bit more. But see right here towards the edge, and the edge right here, it's going to be a lot darker. You see that, Travis? Okay. So it'll make sense to anything like your top of where your edging is, front of the helmet, is also going to be darker and everything, just because he does run fast. There's going to be water and stuff like that to sit in there. Certain things where the moisture would sit here would actually just run down the face. That's where you're going to like pull. It's going to run down off into that cheek going off. So that is going to be another one of those pull effects. And just take and just gently wipe down. Okay, guys, so our next step would be like airbrushing any like circles, the crack in the front of the helmet, the circles, the mask circles, and then like the bomb blast right here. So what I'm going to do is just take the CP Brown once again, and I'm just going to make like streaks. With the airbrushing or anything, if you know how to airbrush, this will just be like where you just spray and you taper off a mark. Kind of lightly go out. Any of the spots and everything are just not really a bad thing. You can go up the top right here above. And I do drip lines, like really heavy, like where the lines will come down right here to make it look like, the moisture is dropping and everything. I'll put a little bit more circles and stuff like that. Add a little bit of brown to this side and everything. We're going to do the spots, which I'll do here with black. So when you do these lines, they are very thin lines to make it look like the water, has been dripping down the aluminum and stuff like that. You can do a few, like right here. Down the front of the bio, you can do a little up. Since there's so much blast heat coming from this, you want to do that brown heavy in there and everything. A few of these. Very thin lines here and there. You don't want them looking like tiger stripes or anything going down. You want to actually do the finest lines possible. This is where it takes like really good airbrush controllers to go, straight down. You see more of those drips right here. And especially right there with his air vent. So we're just going to do a little up here. Not much. Probably a noted spot will be along the seam line right there. Not seam line, but the divider line or whatever it is, this crease. So that's where more moisture is going to like gather in and stuff like that. Around any of these like little black spots and stuff like that, you can do okay, and there we go. Okay guys, so we have the brown laid on there. Not really heavily, but enough to like give you a little tone. Now we're going to go in for the blast marks. Guys, just using the high golden high flow carbon black. There's that big blast marker there. This one is a little edgy and stuff like that. I think it's probably, I'm not sure, 5. But you want to take your airbrush and just do a little zigzag. Almost like a star. He's got that crack in the front. And this one you want to turn down the pressure just a little bit. So where I had those lines going down, I'm just going to softly put some black in there, pull that straight down. And you'll see that with those, like I said, once again, you want them like a little distinctive, but not heavy enough to where they look like stripes going down. And this is where we'll go in like along the line right here, just a little bit black shading. And once again, edge the back right here really light. Some black, not much, because like I said, that's where he's dirtied it up and stuff like that. Okay, guys, this will be the final paint mode. Just taking, I take a liner brush and everything. This is, once again, this is that Chrome Air, the aluminum. So what we're going to do is just very lightly, like, stipple. Very light, like I said, you don't want like huge paint chunks like Boba Fett or something like that. So you just want little. You can see this like a little on the sides and everything. You can do a little bit up on the helmet, or I'm sorry, the bio. You almost want it like just a little bit like the type of dry brush and everything. It's just showing where something has hit it really hard, and now like the dirt and the grime's away, and you're reduced back to the actual raw aluminum and stuff. Like I said, it's not on a bunch of stuff. It'd be like on tweaked stuff, like the outer edge and everything, where it get like a little bit beat up, hit and everything. Ready? Okay, guys, we got the black airbrush. I'm sorry, the chrome all done and everything. Last thing is, I think Travis himself is going to do the lasers, LEDs, and something like that. But this is, again, this is from Casey. This is the lens that goes in. So what I did on here in the back while I was dremeling, I dremeled it all completely flat. Just probably with the mold pores and everything, it's a very sharp edge. You have to flatten it, of course, to put this on. So what we're going to do is, a lot of people will say, you know, da-da-da, whatever and stuff. If it works, it works. But a lot of people just conventionally use hot glue. It is a less messier way, absolutely. I just, like I said, I just use a little bit of super glue. I get one anchored on. Use a little accelerant spray. Get a few key marks to where it will hold. Big bottle of CA glue. I use an accelerator too to speed up the process. And we get there. And voila. We have that done. You really don't have to do the top because since it's molded in, just as long as you do the bottom. This isn't to be worn. This is actually just for theatrical purposes. Just to like look nice on the wall and everything. So like I said, I just got the bottom right here. I didn't get the top. But that is it, folks. Hope you enjoy.
And due to a corrupt SD card, here is the final result that I had to film afterwards. But hope you guys like it, and hope you have fun painting your own.